Have you ever watched or listened to a motivational video before? That could be from a pastor, that could be from a motivational speaker, that could be from an influencer, or that could be from a movie. There's so many different types of motivation, and the way motivation can play a vital role in attaining something, in desiring something, and the outcome of that thing. In today's video, this is what we're talking about. Why does it seem your motivation keeps running out? That it depletes, that it shoots up and then crashes down, and it gets you so far and then it retracts out of nowhere? What does it mean? What to do about it? If you're new here, why not press subscribe? My name is Jocko Kanchefu, and if you're not, welcome back again. Without further ado, let us begin. Motivation, put simply, is like the spark when you're starting a car. It's the ignition to fire up an engine. It's the spark when you're trying to create a fire when you're camping. It's that feeling of hope. It's that feeling of, oh, I can do this, or this is attainable, or this desire is something I can see happening. I can see myself wearing those pair of shoes. I can see myself driving this certain car. I can see myself spending this money lavishly. That's the motivation that we either inspire internally or inquire externally into what we desire. And it's important because it's that beginning aspect of achieving your goals. It's that beginning path to recognizing it's something I can do. It's something that I can create and achieve. Motivation, to create motive, momentum, movement in what you do. And with it being that spark aspect, there's many challenges around it. As we said, it's the spark, it's the beginning act of attaining your goal. So it cannot continue to run that engine. It cannot continue to blaze that fire. That requires something else, something deeper, and we'll get onto that. One way of looking at it is willpower. Willpower is you saying to yourself, I am going to do this. You have the will, you have the conviction, and you go out and make it happen. Today, I'm going to go for a walk. Go outside, get your clothes on, you go for a walk. Today, I'm not going to go to KFC, I'm not going to go to McDonald's for my lunch. Instead, I'm going to make something at home. You do that, the willpower of taking that action. However, relying on that willpower, on that natural instigation of I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to do this, once again is limited. It doesn't mean it cannot be used, it does not mean it's stagnant. It gets you to a point, but you need something further and stronger to push you forward. It's limited in its way, its power and usage. Relying on your willpower is the same thing as relying on that initial thought, oh yes, I'm going to do this every single time. As you and I know, we get something and the desire fades away. We achieve something, we see something, we get to touch and be somewhere. But the desire of that thing over time fades away. But why is that? It's because the other side of that is to create habits of sustaining that. So we ignite the car and the engine runs. In our case, we ignite the spark, the feeling, the desire of something, but we need to continue that momentum. What habits, as we talked about in last video, can we do to continually sustain and maintain this feeling and action? It definitely begins by having a clear goal. Setting an unclear goal creates a fog. It creates a cloudy essence where you are now and where you want to be. That difference makes it harder for you to know where you want to be, know how to get there and what you need to do. However, with something that's specific, that I want this, I want this amount of pounds in my bank account every single month. I want to achieve this amount of body fat. I want to spend only X amount of pounds or dollars on takeaway. I want to speak to X amount of people to help them with X. That specificity makes you realize, okay, the motivation is there. I want to do this. Next, the goal is there. I know what I'm looking for. And now combining that with intrinsic motivation is what helps you carry it on. Essentially, there's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. These two motivations mean intrinsic is internally. Why do I want to achieve this goal? What have I been through? What have I seen? What within me makes me want to achieve this goal, makes something want to happen? Externally, what out there do I desire? Do I see myself in? Have I had a natural progression and desire towards? Extrinsically, outside of the self. Intrinsically, inside of who I am, what I'm about. So if your motivation comes from outside, from the videos, from somebody else, that ignites the fire within yourself. Now that's ignited within you, that fire needs to keep burning. So we now turn that extrinsic motivation into an intrinsic motivation. Intrinsically, what can I do to now achieve that goal? Do you now see how motivation works? Because if you do, make sure you press subscribe. What we're truly gathering here is making those feelings, those emotions, those desires that give us goosebumps, that make us feel alive, alight, to an internal self that can actually manage and make it happen. Not longer just wanting the desire and wishing for something to happen, but doing something about it. Because you work with your intrinsic self, the true core of who you are. You may not know who that is, or you may be still finding that out, but that's a part of the journey. That's a part of moving towards the goal. That's a part of developing, and that's what we're all about. So I'm going to leave you with a question. With the motivation that you feel, that you've had, that has been let go, what are you going to do with it now? You know, motivation doesn't go anywhere. As you've said, it is the ignition, but it gets carried out through our intrinsic feelings and our core values and morals of who we are to create tasks that align with how we think, with how we like to work, and then we just jot down ways we think we can do that and we take action on that. It just requires time, it just requires patience, and requires you to be open to it as well. So what are you going to do with your motivation? Where are you going to place it? So are you going to let the world run it and flood it within your mind? Or are you going to build it within yourself? Are you going to look at what power, at what strength, at what ability do you have within yourself to achieve something? And can I do anything with that? Ask yourself that question deeply inside. And that's how I'll leave our conversation today. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe if you're new. And if you have a friend or family member you know struggles with motivation, be sure to share them this video. My name is Jocko Kanchefu. YouTube thinks you'll like these 2 videos, so why not check them out? My name is Jocko Kanchefu once more. If you like some personal one-to-one coaching when we discuss matters like this and many more, feel free to click the link below and book a call with me. My name is Jocko Kanchefu once more. Have a good day, morning, night or evening for wherever you are in the world watching this. And I'll see you next week for our next conversation.